Hello everybody, today we are going to be doing a video all about how to create your own art, and I know that you're going to love this. So if you are looking for something that can be trademarked to yourself, this video is definitely for you. So most of you probably know, but my daughter is an artist, and she does a lot of my things for me. She helps me out. So if you need someone, she's the perfect person to do this. So let's go through the video. I'll show you exactly how she does that. She's going to show you how she actually draws them, and we'll do a few extra things on here as well, which is going to be amazing. And it's all knowledge, isn't it? We all need knowledge doing this. So just at the start of it, I will actually show you like I said, how she does this, the process, and then at the very end I'm going to show you the final product, which I know you are going to absolutely love. So let's get going, everybody. We're just going to see exactly how my daughter does the art. So I know lots of you have been asking about trademarking and owning the rights to your own things. You can get somebody like my daughter, and she does actually do this and sell her work. So if you want something like this, just contact me and I'll get you in contact with my daughter Pearl. So basically what she's doing is she's going to create it, so then you'll own the rights to any art that you're actually using, because a lot of on Canva you actually have to buy the rights to use them commercially, and I know we are all small businesses. So I am going to keep filming this, and my daughter Pearl is going to explain as we go along, and of course I'm going to keep the camera on this so that we can see exactly what we're doing. So to start with, I'm going to get Pearl just to explain the machine she is using and just a little bit about that before she actually starts to draw, and talk about the measurements and things like that.
Alright, so hi, my name is Pearl. I'm Rhonda's daughter. So pretty much I'm using an outdated version of a digital tablet from the brand Huion. Huion is relatively good quality. They're pretty high up. They're really well known. So essentially I've just got a digital drawing program, which is Fire Alpaca. It's free and it works pretty well. So it's something that I use when I'm drawing by myself or when I'm working with mum. So right now what I'm doing is, when you open up a new file, you have to set your canvas. So that's what I'm doing right now. So currently I've got I've set it in pixels, just so that way I know what I'm working with. And pixels are just like the little squares that are on any sort of digital program or anything that's technological. It's got pixels. So that's just what I've set it. But as you can see, you can change it. So currently, in centimeters, I've got the width of my canvas, digital canvas, is going to be 5.82 centimeters. Now I don't really want it at that, so I'm going to change that to 10, and then I'm going to change that back to pixels. So you can see here how these two are now different. So the program will automatically convert the amount of pixels and centimeters to whichever way you want to work. So for me, because I want this to be a square canvas, I'm just going to Control C and then Control V on the lower one. So now I've got a square canvas that is 10 centimeters. I've set my resolution to 600, and this just means that there are more pixels for every centimeter or square inch of the canvas. So it just makes it easier for me to work with, and it means that you get more detail for what you're working with.
And so once you've done it, can people resize the image or?
Yeah. So once you set your canvas, there'll be a little, you can see up here, we've got a bunch of different little drop down menus. So under, I think it's edit, there'll be a thing down towards the bottom which is canvas size. And in that you can edit your canvas size, you can also edit your resolution.
And just to let everyone know, once Pearl does it, I actually use mine in Canva on the private setting so that nobody else can see your image. And you can resize it, you can change the color, everything in Canva. It's really, really easy. So once you have the art, you don't need to go back to the artist to keep getting them to change things. If you don't like something on the design, of course Pearl will fix it and alter it for you, but once you've got it, you know, and you own the rights to it and everything, which you do, once Pearl gives it to you, you will actually own the rights, which makes it really, really handy. But you know, in the meantime, like I said, once you've got it, if you want to change colors and things like that, you can definitely do it, and I'll actually show you some of my ones that I've actually done and changed colors in Canva a little bit after. But for now, we're going to get Pearl to show you how she's actually going to do it.
All right. Before we do that, I'm just going to quickly explain. I've got my background color to transparent, and that's actually what allows Mum to change the colors of her images when I send them back to her once I'm finished. Alright, so this is just my canvas, and now I'm going to open the image that Mum sent me. So, File, Open, and I'm just going to go into my downloads because I've downloaded the image. And this is going to automatically open another image. So as you can see here, we've got our untitled, because I haven't saved it yet, which is going to be our official, and I've got the image that Mum has sent me.
So just so everyone knows, I found these on Canva, and I said to Pearl, this is basically what I want, but I need her to change it. So obviously you can't just copy something directly from Canva. She will be changing it, and because I have hearts in everything I do, as you all know, I do the love hearts. So she's going to use this as basically a base, but then she's going to design her own. So she can also do free drawing as well on this, but if you have something to go off, it's much easier. So even if you, for instance, you can see I've actually saved lemon myrtle. That will give Pearl an idea, and from here I can say to her, hey, can you put some leaves on it, or can you drape something, or can you put hearts in it? And that way you've sort of got a basis to go off, but then you will still own this artwork.
Alright. So, first things first, I work specifically, I try and separate all of them, just makes it easier for me. You don't have to do that, I do it. So what I'm going to do first is I'm actually going to use the lasso tool, and this is a free lasso tool, so it means I can create any shape that I want. So like that, or if I want to do a heart, I've got a heart. I don't want to do that, so I'm just going to click outside of the canvas and it'll take the lasso off. So next I'm going to zoom in so I get a better picture, or I get more detail for what I'm worth, so that way I can see more. And I'm just being really careful, and I'm going around, and that's my image. So I'm going to work on the rosemary first. So now I'm going to use this tool here, which is a little cross with a little cursor on it, and this means I can move my selection around.
So does this cut it out? Okay, yes.
Yeah, so it cuts it from the original canvas it's on. I'm just going to drag it over. So I've just Control C and Control V, which is copy and paste onto the new canvas. So then I am going to select it with the square lasso tool, just because that's easier for me. Now select, and I'm going to go into transform. So transform just means I can rotate it, I can make it bigger, I can make it smaller, I can do whatever I want. Some people choose to warp it, which just means that you change the way it looks or whatever else. Doesn't mean do whatever you want, really. Alright. So I'm going to make it really big, and it's going to look kind of really grainy right here. But once I click OK, it'll actually automatically try and fix the resolution of the image, so that way I have more working space. So I'm going to zoom out, or automatically center on the page, and move it over here. Alright. Yep. So as you can see, it's automatically changed that resolution, so the resolution is the same as it was on the original image. So I'm going to create another layer, and I'm going to lower the opacity of this one, so that way I can actually see my brush strokes over the top and in a clearer color. So I'm actually also going to use a pencil because I prefer for a more realistic look. So I prefer to use the pencil brush on a digital program, because it makes me feel like I'm using a traditional medium, which is how I'm actually self-taught. Or, well, I taught myself using traditional mediums. Alright. So for this one, and this is going to be a rough sketch obviously, so it's not going to have the clear line art that you normally see in official or final products. So, oh god, does not let me do that.
So just so everyone knows, this is like a rough sketch, and you can see here how Pearl has already used the background leaf just for an idea, and then she's going to, if you can see that, she's making it look like into a heart, because as we all said before, my whole design is all hearts. So she's definitely not using the image that's already there. She's just using that as a base, because then that will sort of give her the structure of what I want it to sort of look like and how I want it to move. But of course then it's going to be totally different once she does this. And of course we're making this the fast look, but as time goes on, if she was doing your work, it doesn't take 5 minutes. It will take quite a long time, and then this is just the first bit, and then of course she has to do more work. So yeah, that's kind of how it sort of works.
For this one, just because this is a rosemary leaf, rosemary has a signature kind of leaf to it, which, as you can see for this image, but also if you have rosemary growing in real life, it's actually it's got these very thin leaves, thin and long. So I'm actually trying to replicate that with the hearts that I'm using, where they're really elongated and they're really thin, instead of that classic, really, you know, that thick bubble kind of heart. So in terms of my services, I tend to charge around $80 per image. And then as well, that includes any of the other costing fees. So I normally go for, it's a pretty decent sized email, I'll be honest, where I try and get any references that you like, any sort of ideas that you want. If you want something creative or something, like if you give me a reference and you say, oh, I want it to be brighter than this, I want it to be a different colour than this, I try and do that. And then I also send you back and forth a lot of sample emails. So I go, you know, is this what you want? Do you want me to change it? And I keep on trying to do that. And even if you get that final image and you're still going, oh, that's not actually really what I wanted, I'm really happy to come back and change what you want me to do. And there's no additional fees for that, just because, you know, I already put in the effort to get you that final product, and if you're still not happy, I want to make it as good as I can for you. So that's just what I charge. Some people charge less, some people charge more. It just depends on who you're really going for. And also be aware that artists, we all work at very different paces. So I'm naturally very fast-handed. I go very, very fast. And I'm very lucky that I'm like that. Some people, though, it takes up to 6 hours just for them to get a final product done. It doesn't really normally take me that long, but if I really am trying, it can take me up to that long. So yeah, if you're going to go for another artist, please just always remember to be kind, and actually just, you know, try and keep open communication with them, just because, you know, it's not their fault if they're not as fast. Sometimes it is a bit ridiculous if they're going to take 3 days. Sometimes you can be like, hey, come on now, don't do that. But, you know, just always try and remember, be kind, and I think that's the message that Mum always tries to spread. You know, be kind to everyone. Doesn't matter who it is, or if you know them or not, just be kind. So
yeah, and that way you'll get a great relationship. And then if you get an artist, you can go back and forward many times. And as lots of you have seen, the main girl's head that wears the earrings, and she's on almost everything that I do now. Pearl actually designed that one for me, so it didn't take that long, but you just do need to give yourself a little bit of time, because remember that you'll be going back and forward, making sure, because there might be several changes that you want to make. And it's best to be honest and say, hey, I love that, or I don't like that, can we move this around, and so on. So you might have half a dozen changes the time you sort of get to the end, but this will show you a little bit about the process. So I hope that you enjoy seeing the process, because it is really interesting. I found it really, really interesting. And you can also get something like Pearl's doing like a sketch now, and of course then they've got to neaten it up and everything else. So, and these are going on my soap boxes. So I started designing them, and then I realized really fast that I actually needed somebody to help with the boxes, because on Canva, basically what happens is if you click on an image and that image has a person's name on it, it means that's an artist, and the artist owns all rights, and you actually need to pay for that. So it means you can't use that commercially unless you make many changes to it. You can actually use it, but you need to make many changes. And to be really honest, we're not artists, and I just think you really need an artist if you need to or you want to sell something commercially, unless you use a program yourself and do it. But for me, I know my skill set is not an artist, so I am more than happy to pay someone. And I do pay my daughter as well for her art, because we really need to make sure that we're paying people, even if they're family. You might not pay them, what everyone else would, but you still need to give them an amount so that, we're being fair. So now you can see how she's getting from the first little sketch now to this one here.
Alright, so this is what I like to refer to as a secondary sketch. So the first one, if I click off this layer, so that means that I've just hidden that layer for a bit. So this layer, and I've also lowered the opacity, so that's why it looks a bit greyed out now. As you can see, it's really rough, and a part of that is because I actually didn't use a stabilizer, and that comes with every single type of digital art program that you'll ever find. So a stabilizer will try to, as it says, stabilize the lines, so it tries to make them a lot smoother. So these ones, as you can see, these are not going to be the final ones, because they've still got that kind of rough look to them, where I'm still finalizing some of the details, but they're a lot smoother in their line art. And line art is just the outline of anything. So I'm just going to continue doing this, and we'll come back when I'm finished with this part.
So we are back, everyone. Pearl has done lots and lots of work, and our naughty little dog, which everybody knows, Peaches, has decided to be on Pearl's lap. So we're going to keep doing this with this as well. And I thought I would tell you, so she does have this device, which obviously is the art device, and then it is running off a little computer as well. So it's not actually a computer, for anyone that's going to ask me that, because I'm sure somebody is going to ask me that. It is actually a special device to be doing these kind of things. So anyway, Pearl is going to take over from here and explain what she's done, but it looks fabulous.
Alright, so this is the finished second sketch. So from now, what I would do normally is I would lower the opacity like this, so it has a separate opacity layer, and I would lower the opacity, and then I would increase my stability to 100, so that way I have much slower lines, as you can see, and then that would help me create a very smooth and finished effect. But Mum has asked me to show you guys something very special. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to protect alpha, and I'm going to change the color. So we'll keep it red for now, and I'm going to the very brightest red that I can, and I should be able to do that. So what this does is if you press protect alpha, this means that it's essentially telling the program, I don't want to draw on anything that I haven't already drawn. So this means that any of these lines that I've drawn, I can now color in as much as I want. So if I lower that, or if I maybe go to a blue now, and I'll make it bigger so that way you can see. So I've changed the brush size to something bigger, and I've changed that space. So that's how you can change the colour as well of your line art, if that's something that you want to do.
That's cool, so you could have a rainbow effect if you really wanted to.
Yeah, some people.
That's cute.
Some people prefer to do that. I believe you can also use your gradient, the gradient tool on this as well. Yes, see, just like that. You can use the gradient tool. Bit hard to see from probably the.
No, you can see because I got close.
Yeah, okay. So yeah, you can see how you can use the gradient. I don't really use gradients myself. I think they're confusing. But so yeah, that's just a little tip for everybody else.
Yeah, but for me, I always keep mine just black, just as a sketch, because then I can change my color myself, like I said, if I'm doing Canva. So, you know, you can use this art which you own, and then you can literally just edit it in Canva. It's just a great tool because it's, you know, it's free. You can use a free service, or as you all know, I also do have the pro account at Canva. It's only $17 a month. It's the cheapest thing, and I use Canva every single day. There's never a day that I don't use it. So you can literally alter all these. So once you own these, like I said, if you need an artist like Pearl, just contact me. You know, you can contact me through YouTube or on my website as well, and then I'll put you in contact with Pearl, and then you'll basically deal direct with her to get some of these arts. But once you own them, you pay Pearl for it, you own it, and then that's it. It is yours to do as you please. If it was Christmas, you could literally make this red and green on Canva and then just bring it back to whatever color you want as well. So that's for another video. I will do a video on that, on the editing tool in Canva. It's an amazing tool, but for now, like I said, we've shown you all of this. I hope you have enjoyed seeing this. So from here, basically Pearl will just put it back into the sketch form I want, and then she will email it to me, and then I have it, and like I said, you can do whatever you like. It will be in a high resolution, and that's it. So I hope you have enjoyed this video. Make sure you give me a thumbs up. Don't forget to join me over on Patreon. I will have all the information over there on Patreon if you need further details. So like I said, just go over there, and you can see everything you like. And of course, don't forget to subscribe so that you can see the rest of my videos. All right, everyone, here it is. Pearl has almost finished. Doesn't it look amazing? I really love it. It definitely has all of the hearts on it like I wanted. So this is going to be for a part of my new soap range, which is the essential oil soap range, and this will be on the boxes. So I'm going to get to work once I get all of this from Pearl. I will show you at the end of this video what it looks like, and it will also be at the front of the video, the thing that you would have clicked onto. So I'm sure that you're going to love it. Okay, everyone, I have finished. Doesn't this look amazing? I am actually just holding the camera near my computer so you can see, so I know it's not going to look perfect, but doesn't it look stunning? I really love what she created, and I just think it's beautiful. Anyway, I hope you've loved this video. I will see you next time. Bye, friends.